A pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
10039 Bisonet Street, Suite 338, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 346-426-5650 or 832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
Well, life to you may be different from life to me. The way I see life most of the time is different from the way you see life. Sometimes life is good. Other times, well, maybe not so good. And this is why many times we need someone to talk to, someone to listen to us without judging us. And this is a program that is designed exactly for that purpose, where we can talk, chat, laugh, and sometimes cry together. Come on. Let's talk over our matters. Let's discuss the matters of life and find solutions together. This is ESHMAN. Our program is now going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I need you to join in. We need to talk together. You will have the opportunity to call in, ask questions, discuss matters that concern your heart, and I guarantee you'll be glad that you talked. I'll be waiting on you Tuesday and on Wednesday and on Thursday. ESHMAN will be waiting for you. Hello everybody and welcome again. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Always good to see you. Always good to know that you're there. I thank you everybody that called in yesterday on our show. It was such a wonderful show. To some that tried calling and they couldn't get through, some actually called me later and I said I was going to give a shout out to them. Ms. Ologbenla, Ms. Sholanke, Ms. Obembe, and Mr. Okolakwa that tried to call in. They couldn't get through to the show and they called me thereafter to let me know. Thank you very much. Sharing life issues with ESHMAN is always about the realities of life. And we need to talk about life and living. And the way it is tonight, we will surely ensure that you have a good time. Before we would start, look in front of me. There are some glittering prizes in front of me. These things are for you, my viewers. It is time for us to start giving out. We won't wait till December. Now, these purses that are in front of me, as glittery as they are meant for someone. We will be giving them out from next week, particularly to my most devoted callers. So keep calling in. If we find out that you're very consistent with your calls, surely you will win one of these. Thank you once again. Tonight's topic is actually extremely important, and it's a continuation of our discussion of yesterday. One of my callers had asked a question about communicating with his wife, and sometimes the communication has not been going on too well. Today, we will address the issue of communication, and I have titled it, Someone Wants to Talk. Someone wants to talk. That is what I've titled it to. Now, in the course of relationship, naturally in life, the course of relationship, naturally in life, issues happen. Definitely, issues must happen. That is life. However, the terrible things that happened, the things that actually pushed me, the main thing that pushed me to start a program like this, which I wish we could stop. I wish the whole world could say no to it, and that is the issue of domestic violence. Now, when domestic violence occurs, it is the end of the story that we know. It is the end of the matter that we know. And that's the reality. The breaking news is that, oh, he killed his wife or she stabbed him. That's always the breaking news. And that's what we want to discuss and discuss and discuss. However, there are things that happen before that climax. There are things that happen before he would kill. No justification for domestic violence. No. And no justification at all. But then, before domestic violence would occur, surely somehow there are things that would have built up to that. It could be there were always arguments. It could be there were always misunderstandings. It could be that, well, somebody is not talking to somebody or somebody is overspending. Something is always happening. And so never think that domestic violence is a start of a matter. No, it's never the start of a matter. Domestic violence is actually the conclusion of the matter. So my program addresses those things that happen before the main issue. One of the key problems in any relationship is communication. Someone wants to talk. And so when communication is missing, peace is missing. So many things are missing. There are too many things that you may never ever get together again. Very shortly, we'll go into the discussion proper. And as usual, I would want you to call in. When you have the opportunity of calling in, please, let's be mindful of the fact that others would want to call in as well. And so, if you are calling in, please manage the time very well. Somebody wants to talk. Yes, that is what we're talking about tonight. Welcome to Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Somebody wants to talk. In a relationship, when one person is upset about something, when an individual is tired of a particular thing, before the major quarrel occurs, he wants to talk. She wants to talk. The truth is that if he's talking or she's talking, are you ready to listen? If you're not ready to listen, most of the time, there will have to be a way that this person would want to exhibit the anger. I would prefer, excuse me, I would prefer that for all of us, we should embrace communication. But the gentleman that called yesterday said, many times I try to talk to her. It is every time I pick myself up to talk to her that she looks for a reason why she should not talk. And this is not only a problem with this gentleman, it's a problem with a lot of other people, a lot of other families. Do not get me wrong. I do not believe compulsorily all of us are going to stay together forever. There are times that people may have genuine reasons to go separate ways. But before then, our level of communication must be very high. And so we must be ready to listen when someone is ready to talk. Now, he said she would always give reasons and excuses not to talk. Never give up. At that moment, you have to try and try and try. Do anything possible that will make your relationship last. If you can get it right on communication, you will get it right in most other things. But when communication breaks down, oh my, you need to find a way to fix the problem. And so I was recommending to the gentleman yesterday, and very soon after we come back, after we go on break and come back, I will open the phone lines and all of us will be able to contribute the various steps of communication. And I told all of us yesterday, and continuing from there, if you want to communicate with your partner and he is not listening, she is not listening, or she's not interested, or she does not want to hear, it is time for you to change your modus operandi. It is time for you to change the steps that you have been taking. Number one step that I told us yesterday, change the environment. There is something about the places that we stay. It is boring. Yes, every day you wake up, you see the same picture, the same TV, the same bed, the same chairs, the same everything. If you really want to get into the heart of your partner, learn to change the environment. Gather some money together. You could go to the hotel for just 2 days. Look, it will really help. There are many places to go to, whatever country you're watching me from, whatever country you live in. There are many places that you can escape to. Listen, if you don't do this, honestly, you may find it hard to talk. Now, you may not think about it, but our brain has a way of speaking to itself. The brain says to itself, it's still this same place, I don't want this place. You know, everything around is just the same. Escape somewhere. Find a way. When you change the environment, everybody relaxes a little. When a couple, or let's put it, when people, it doesn't have to be couples, it could be other family members, when they are not very happy with themselves, most of the time, if they go to just as simple as the beach, the mood changes. The atmosphere is different. Everybody calms down. Everybody relaxes. At that point, it may be softer to talk than just hitting it hard on the same level all the time. It is time for us to learn that changing environment performs a lot of magic beyond what we can think about. So, when your partner is not listening to you, please adopt that style. Just try it, if it could work. Now, may I warn you, if you change the environment, as soon as you go to your place of destination, don't start with the problem immediately. That may not work. For instance, let's say you decided to take your partner to the hotel just for change of environment, change of the vicinity. As soon as you get to the hotel, don't start with, the reason I brought you here is so that we can talk about this particular problem. You've turned her off. All right. So you have to make her feel like, I brought you here for us to have a good time. I brought you here to solidify the things that we have in the house. I brought you here just to appreciate you. Now, it is after a little while you can now try to chip in the main reason why you want to discuss. Men, can I quickly talk to us? Look, most of the time, permit me, most of the time, I didn't say all the time, I am pro-woman, all right? I try to feel that they should be better understood sometimes. Men, look for a way. Don't get tired about a lady that is not listening to you. Don't get mad about a nagging wife. No, there are steps you can take. You most of the time should be the one to play the big boy. Find a way to book somewhere. You've been married for 5 years, 7 years, 8 years. Where have you taken her to? All right, it's a good question. Now, you don't have to do anything elaborate or anything too expensive. You can start with the level that you are. There are many places that fit your pocket exactly. And look, when you do these things, it will bring a lot of smiles into our face. I know you cannot talk at a movie center, for instance. There isn't much to talk about while you're watching a movie. But do you know, it goes a long way when you arrange a movie night between you and your partner. Not the movie you're watching on your big TV. I know your TV is big enough, but you need to step out somewhere and give her this impression that I just feel like I'm dating you all over. Men, I am talking to you and I want you to please adopt this style. The boring moves of coming home, paying bills, paying money for this and that, eating food, sleeping, all those things are very monotonous. We need to find other ideas. So if you're a man and you're listening to me tonight, I want to beg you this weekend, maybe next weekend, this month, maybe next month, plan a place for her too. And that will lead me to my second point that I mentioned yesterday. Remove all manner of distractions when you want to talk real talk. What do I mean by distractions? Distractions sometimes are not just negative. There are positive things around us that are distracting us. For instance, you're watching me right now. You're probably enjoying my program. You probably like it. Thank you for that. It is not the best time to be telling him or her about the main problem. No, you have to probably, when you're ready to talk, put the TV aside. You can't talk while you're watching a movie. It's not going to flow very well. The children are major distractions in this regard. We love the children, of course. I mean, they're beautiful people. We really can't do without them. But as couples, once in a while, if you really want to talk to yourselves, these children have to be excused. When you are planning a date with your wife, don't plan the children with it. There are family vacations. There are other places you can take them to. There are other events that you can go together. But when it is between you and your wife and you want to talk, do not plan the children with it. Let them go somewhere. Put them somewhere safe, of course, so that you can talk very well. If these distractions are not removed, there is no way the communication can flow. Sometimes I've heard a lot of men say, oh, I took her here, I took her there. Were the children there? If they were there, you're not going to have the best of your time. No, you're not. Put the children where they are mostly safe and let it be an escape just for the two of you. All right, let it be somewhere slightly far from where you stay, so the temptation or the distraction of quickly going to check what's in the fridge is not there. If you can do this, it helps a lot. Remember the first thing I told you, find a way to change the environment. The second thing I told you is that distractions have to be removed. Number 3, if you really want to talk as partners, then you must be objective. You must have an open mind. Now, never let us conclude on anybody. Most of the quarrels that happen in families are sheer misunderstandings. Truly, most of them are misunderstandings. If we can have an open mind that it's probably not exactly the way I thought it was, then we will hear the other person more. But once you have concluded that this is who she is or this is who he is, there is no way you can break through into communicating with him or her. You need to please open up your mind. Okay, what does he want to say? It could be something totally different. Now, I have seen a lot of couples fighting just over a joke. What was intended to be a joke was taken wrongly by the other partner. All these things put together may be as a result of blocked mind. When you think, oh, it's always like that, every time he goes out, he never comes back home straight, he's always going somewhere, and you conclude in your heart that he has probably gone to the party or he has gone after another girl. Sometimes it's not like that. It could just be a flat tire on the way. You need to have an open mind. There is none of us that can sit here and sit there. I am in the studio right now. Outside the studio, I don't know what is happening. It is wrong of me to assume that somebody somewhere is doing some things that I cannot see. This same thing has killed a lot of unions. Oh, so very many times. You just assume, how come she's not picking my phone? Definitely, I have an idea where she is. How do you know? How come his phone is off? The phone did not go off. He intentionally switched it off. How did you know? We need to have an open mind. When you have the open mind, then you will know that sincerely sometimes he could be in some kind of trouble. Sadly, and I will bring the story of a friend of mine that I lost some time ago, over many years now. He actually had an accident on the way. While he was there, he was frantically calling the wife, and she decided to ignore the calls because she thought he had gone as usual to some girls. I mean, she will say all this later. So she ignored the calls. He was calling for help. In times of danger, many times it could be only one number you would remember. And he called and called. And honestly, the result, I will tell you when we come back from break. Let's go on this break, and I will quickly be back.
BSA Procurement and Logistics Services. Ship to USA from Niger, or ship from Niger to USA, and also to Canada. Individual, small business, corporate establishments, and African stores and restaurants. Ship anything at all. USA office 12455 Westpac Drive, Suite H15, Houston, Texas 77082. Telephone 832-614-8984 or 281-741-4829. Email info@bsaprologservice.com or www.bsaprologservice.com. BSA Procurement and Logistics Services. You are the reason we exist. Being a number one in authentic African cuisine has made us not to stop dishing out the best to our customers. Check out some of our delicacies in African food today. We also cater for both indoor and outdoor parties. Finger Licking Restaurant 2.0. Check our all-day coffee tea spots out. Open on Sunday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We deliver with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Drop Off. Finger Licking 2.0, 98178 Business Street, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 713-270-7070. Come for an authentic African cuisine. When it comes to eating African food like you are in Africa, don't just call for jollof rice. Ask for greens and solid jollof rice, greens and solid fried rice, greens and solid ewa going, greens and solid porridge yam, babambari reni, greens and solid amala on point. Begri atewedu lórí àmàlà tó fẹ́lẹ́ tó ń gbóná fẹ́lẹ́fẹ́lẹ́ with your choice of meat or fish. Roundabout ni, abọ́dí, ṣàkíní àbẹ́dọ̀, ẹja aláràn lẹ́nfẹ́ ni, àbí croaker, bó sì jẹ́ tilapia ni, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wà lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. At Greens and Solid Amala on Point, just give us few minutes to prepare what you order, and boom, you have it exactly as it is pictured. Greens and Solid Amala on Point. 11134 Highway C South, Sugarland, Texas 77498, Suite 216, or Greens and Solid Amala on Point at 12306 Bichno Street, Houston, Texas 77072, inside the Shell gas station. Telephone 832-295-3570 or cell phone 832-692-0465. Greens and Solids on Facebook, Greens and Solids on Instagram, or www.food@greenandsolid.com. Food as it is in Africa. Greens and Solid Amala on Point. See you there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being there. Very soon we're going to be opening the phone line. Well, I had to go on break because the story that I was telling you was a bit emotional for me, all right, because it's a true story and I remember my friend very well. So he called and called the wife. She ignored the calls because she thought he had only just gone on his own and he was calling her at the late night. Meanwhile, he was in a very bad accident. Cut the long story short, before the day broke, he died. He died. By the time the wife heard, the main regret she heard was she never had the opportunity to hear what he had to say or last words from him. Sometimes, my friends, we conclude on people. We just assume that they are this. They may not be that. If you would listen, if you will hear them more, you will find out that they are actually not what we have adjudged them to be. For the list to the people we are trying to talk to, like the gentleman trying to talk to the wife, he is ready to talk. You must be ready to listen. It takes two people to make a union. You need to be ready to listen. You can't just ignore talking. If you keep ignoring talking, then that means you're probably not interested in that relationship anymore. Any relationship that there are no talks may not work out eventually. Before I move on, it's time for us to open our phone line, and feel free to call in. Don't forget, these purses before me, the glittery purses, they are for us to win. But I will only give them to my most devoted callers. So every now and then, please do try to call in. And next week, we'll be announcing the winners. All right, the phone line to call 346-426-5650. Please call in so that you can contribute into it. What do you think couples should do when they are finding it hard to talk to themselves? They know they need to talk, but they are finding it hard. 346-426-5650. If you're calling outside the US, remember to add +1 to it. The phone line is now opened. We can discuss all of us together. 346-426-5650. If you're calling outside the United States, please remember to put +1. So I was on the person that is being talked to. What I explained before now is the preparation of the talk. Now we're trying to go to someone that is being talked to. I need you to learn to listen. Anybody trying to talk to you is only trying to talk to you because they love you. If they don't love you, there is no need to talk. Don't continue to shun them off. They are interested in you, and that is why they are trying to talk to you. Everything cannot be about you alone. Fine, we all make mistakes, but then anytime a partner walks in to talk, you must please listen. It's only when you have listened well, when you have digested it well, that you can know the cause and effect of whatever is on ground. Journeys can continue after the talk, and after the talk, well, the journey may not continue anymore. I mean, that's better than fighting and killing yourselves, because if you don't talk good, it could lead to violence. Of course, you and I know that violence could lead to early graves. So take a pick, and I would rather want us to pick the right, which is learn to listen. If a partner says, I have something to say, ladies, I do beg you, don't walk out. Don't try to say, well, it's not time. Any time that is good is a time that is good to talk. Stop postponing it. It leads to frustration on the part of the person that is trying to talk. They are trying to talk to you because they are still interested in you. Why don't we all learn to appreciate that? At least hear him first. Hear what he has to say before you will jump into your conclusion. Now, when you give excuses upon excuses why you would not want to talk, eventually I will tell you what you're going to do. You are going to make your partner lose interest in the relationship, because there is nobody that doesn't want to be listened to, including you. All of us human beings, one way or the other, we love people to listen to us. And so if you love people to listen to you, when a partner is trying to talk to you, you must listen to what he has to say. It could be about a disagreement that is burning in your heart. Don't think it's not burning in his own heart as well. Now, And that is why he wants to voice it out. But when you block your mind, there's no discussion. Then what kind of relationship is that? If there is no way forward, discuss it. Let everybody know that there's no way forward. For me, I will forever choose that over beating and killing yourselves. The talk is extremely important. So what do you have to do? To those of you that someone is trying to talk to, it could be a man, it could be a woman. If someone is trying to talk to you, what are the things you should do? Respect is number one. Respect. Now, respect could come from either side. It could come from the man, it could come from the woman. Respect could come from older, respect could come from younger. Respect in this case it is just human decency when someone tries to talk that will listen. When your child walks away from you, how do you feel? You don't feel happy. So when someone is trying to talk to us and we don't want to hear, it's as good as someone walking out on us. Nobody likes a colleague, a friend, even a boss to walk out on you. You don't even want your father, your mother to walk out on you. Somehow, walking out is such a rude attitude that nobody, even kids these days, don't like it when you walk out on them. Now, this is what we do when a partner is trying to talk and we are just not interested in the talk. You must show the respect. The human dignity, suggests that we must respect one another by listening to one another, hearing what the other person has to say. Respect is very key. And again, don't get me wrong. I am not saying the lady must be the one to respect or the man must be the one to respect. Everybody must learn to respect. Whoever is trying to talk must be respected. He must be given the opportunity to say what he has to say. That is the respect. When you don't give him that opportunity, it's as good as when you walk out on him. Look, I will tell you what I will call straight up. That's just going to worsen the case. When he's trying to talk or she's trying to talk and you shun him or you shun her, it's going to worsen the case. It's going to make the quarrel to be deeper. And that could even lead to physical, because someone is now pulling someone and say, but I'm talking to you. And because he pulled or she pulled out of anger, you're replying with a hit. And after then, we hear bad stories. Listen, my friend, the end of a matter is not because they killed themselves. Let's start from what started it, what happened. And so this discussion is an extremely important thing. And I am saying to the person that they are trying to talk to, the number one thing that you need to do is to respect the person that is trying to talk to you. Don't forget, my phone line is open 346-426-5650. All right, so you must respect the person that is talking to you. Number two, which is also equally important, listen more than speaking. There must be a reason why we have one mouth and two ears. We have those because we must listen more. Listen extremely well. As a matter of fact, personally, I will recommend, there is nothing wrong in jotting down so that you don't forget. But this is what most of us do, which is very wrong. Noise, trying to speak into noise. We will never hear one another. We will never understand one another. We must learn to be patient. Listen very well. Now, the person that is talking to you will say things that will really hurt you. Don't blow. They will say things that will really provoke you. Don't get angry. We do have a caller. Let's pick that quickly. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Oh, we lost that call. Please do call back, our caller. So I was saying that we must listen more than we speak. It is when we listen that we will surely hear what the person is saying, and we will also hear what they are not saying. Many times, all we hear are the things they are saying. But do you know we can actually hear what they are not saying. All this we can only gain and get when we listen. We must all learn the habit of how to listen. Many of us are too quick to jump. When people are talking and they are saying things that we don't like, we just want to jump and defend. We want to jump and argue. We want to even yell. At the end of the day, nobody is understanding one another. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of us have made those mistakes, and I think we should just get out of it. She's yelling, he's yelling, he's yelling, she's yelling. Who is listening? So we must imbibe that attitude of how to listen. How do you listen? We have a caller. Please, let's this Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Welcome to Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. All right. Please do call us back if you can. I really do want us to call, and I want to hear from you. I need to hear some other points that you have on what couples can do when one is trying to talk and the other is not just listening, or the other is not interested. What do you think they should do? All right, please call in and give your advice. Your advice will go a long way to save a family. Now, I am so connected to this program. I am so all out for it because I know all I'm trying to aim at is to reduce as much as possible the issue of domestic violence in the society. It's not worthy of celebration that people are killing themselves or harming themselves, but we need to talk about the things that cause all these things. So I have shown you, or I've told you rather, that when someone is talking to you, that basic human respect, give to that person that's talking. And number two, I also told you that when someone is talking, please listen more. That when you listen, you hear what they say and you also hear what they are not saying. There are some words that will come out of our mouth that are not intended the way they sound. I want us to listen. It's only when you listen that you will be able to sieve and know what this person is trying to say. From now, couples, people watching me, a friend of mine told me that herself and her husband will be on here tonight because they needed to hear this particular thing that we're saying, and I do acknowledge you. To all the couples listening to me, I do beg you, let us stop that shouting thing. Now, here's my question. When people are shouting at themselves, who are they actually talking to? Because the person you're talking to is this close to you and you're yelling, the person is right in front of you. You don't need to yell, except if you want it to be heard by third parties or people from other areas. No, that shouldn't be it. They are close to you. Let's talk gently. When one finishes, the other can have a say. Let's keep shouting into noise. It will not give us anything. So we must learn to listen. Another option, which is equally important, if someone is trying to talk to you, well, I do understand that you have your reason why you don't even want to hear another thing. Oh, maybe it's not his first or second or third time of trying to explain the same old thing. Maybe not, but then this time, can you give benefit of the doubt? Yes. What he has to say or what she has to say may be extremely important. And if you consider it important, it could actually work. Give him the benefit of the doubt. The nonsense in quote that you think he wants to say may not be exactly what he's going to say. When you give him benefit of the doubt, surely you may gain something. You may see the light. You may understand it better. But when you make up your mind that no, nothing good can come from that mouth, I'm not going to listen, at the end of the day, it's not going to work. Now, what are the results of not listening? I will quickly tell you. Remember, we have talked about how to set the right atmosphere. We have also talked about how to listen well. But when you don't listen, when you don't want to talk, when you don't want to address the matter, what are the effect? Of course, everything that we do will always have an effect. Give me a moment. We have another caller. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
Hello.
Yes, ma. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
What you're saying is good, but most of the time, even if you take your spouse out, you probably won't be able to talk to him because he will be relaxing, Maybe he has worked for a long time, and, by the time you actually want to talk, maybe the time he want to play with you, and after you see, maybe you book for 3 days, 3 days it's been spent.
And you just enjoyed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love what you have said, ma. But don't you think that, quoting your word, he wants to enjoy with you. After the enjoyment, in fact, that's one of the best times to talk. Do you know that? So why don't you start the topic after the enjoyment, ma?
Most of the time, you don't go to where you can relax much. So the day you go in there, maybe that was the day you need to check out,
Oh.
Maybe I'm relaxing, then maybe I'm done, we're going to talk, and that was our checkout time, and we have to go back to most of the time, you don't have time to talk to your spouse, especially if you are in the Western world that we are now.
Yes. Everybody seems busy, right?
Yeah. Is there any other thing one can do?
Okay. I will give you some other things one can do, but all right, thank you very much. The caller, thank you so very much. Your points are well noted. Let me quickly say it. We must never lose focus of our intentions. Ma, and I believe you can hear me loud and clear. We must never lose focus of our intentions. I do appreciate you, ma. That was a very good one. Thank you so very much for that call. Extremely important. Now, when you are planning to take out your partner, never lose focus of the reason you're doing the taking out. Please, when you book 3 days, for instance, you are the one that booked it. You had an intention to talk. Make sure you plan your project very well, that you're not just going to enjoy. Extremely important, man. Easily we get distracted. As a matter of fact, I don't know who gets distracted more, children or adults. Adults only pretend they don't get distracted. You try to talk to your partner and there's a nice movie or soccer or big news on TV. See if you can get their attention. All right. So when you plan an outing, ma, ensure that you do not get carried away by the enjoyment. I'll come back to that. We have another call. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't like my wife taking me out.
All right. All right. Yes, sir. If I may ask, sir, first and foremost, thank you very much for the call. Why don't you like your wife taking you out?
Let her test me because we never be in good times.
Okay.
Let her test me.
Okay. I do appreciate that, sir. That's from the heart. That's an extremely important thing that you said. I feel you, and I sincerely do appreciate the fact that you called. If both parties are still interested in the relationship, that's a big if. I will never be the one to tell you to force yourself to do what you don't want to do. But if both parties are still interested in the relationship, please find what works for you. Taking out may not work for you, like the first caller, ma. If taking out does not work for you, ma, please, there must be some other things. I know some people that will decide to, as a matter of fact, I know a woman, what she does is to write out her mind and sneak it into the pocket of the husband before he goes to work. You can do that. You can write out your mind. You can actually also, this is for me not always the first step, but if you have gotten to the level where there is no communication anymore, you can actually call on third parties. When I say third parties, they must be extremely matured and people that will not put your matters out there. All right, because like the first caller said, it's not all about enjoyment. It's not all about I just want to go to the hotel, and you get carried away. It doesn't have to be a hotel. It could be a result or somewhere that the atmosphere will be conducive for you to talk. But if that does not work for you, there are many ways. You could do the old style of writing out your mind and hoping or letting him read. It could be on a Sunday that you decide to go to the park. You understand? There and then seclude yourself from the busy children and find time to talk. You could decide to take a stroll. There must be something that works for you, except if you're no longer interested in that relationship. But if there is still a little spark, just a little spark, I want you to leverage on that. Take a walk, both of you together. While you're working, you can talk. To my second caller, who I really, really appreciate so much. I do not know why you don't like your wife taking you out. Apparently, from what you sounded, there are some deeper issues. And I do wish that you find a way out of this issue. But then, if there's still any interest in the relationship, and this is what I will encourage you to do, sir, even though I am borrowing from a topic of another day, I need you to look for something positive about the wife. Just something you can hold on to. Something good. Now, maybe she has done 9 things wrong out of 10, but she has done only one thing right. For the sake of this time, I need you to hold on to that one thing and use it to judge her. Sometimes when we see the positive side of people, the journey is sweeter, the journey is faster, the journey is better. But when we totally don't see anything good out of them, it is impossible for us to even have them walk down the road with us. So there is nothing wrong, sir, with due respect. There is nothing wrong in her taking you out if you're still interested in her. And as a matter of fact, you're still together because there's still this little interest in one another. I do not want you to give up on love. Sometimes we do everything within our power to make it work. If it does not work, well, you will know you have tried. Nature will know that you have tried. But as long as you're still together, you're still talking together, find what works for you. We've not even started discussions on romance and all those things. We're still at the periphery. At this point, we want couples to get closer. The best way to get closer is to communicate. Talk about everything and anything. If you don't like your wife to take you out, do you love to take your wife out? Take her out. You be the one to start the car. You don't have to wait for anybody to do it. But I want you, whether you're breastfeeding the baby or baby the breastfeeding, as long as the baby is not hungry, whether she's taking you out or you are taking her out, as long as you have an opportunity to discuss. This program is coming to a close tonight. We have a few minutes. If you want to call, please do call in. All the things that we're saying on this program, there's a family listening to it. There is somebody somewhere that needed to hear this. 346-426-5650. My first caller also mentioned the fact that we seem to be in a busy world. The Western world is a place where there's almost no rest. Every hour, every minute of the day is accounted for. However, what is the worth of money that we have when there's nobody to spend with us? What is it? How much can you eat on your own while you're pursuing your money, which I want you to pursue, while you're trying to be comfortable, and I want you to be comfortable, while you're trying to buy the house, and I want you to buy the house. Do not forget the people that are important to you. One of these days, I am going to be telling you, the same wife you want to drop, somebody will kill to have her. The same husband that you do not appreciate, if you know how many ladies are on their knees praying to have such a person as their man, you better keep what you have. You better find a way to make sure it works. You better look for an alternative if this way is not working. Another thing that works like magic. Look in front of me. Gifts. Yes, gifts. If you're interested in your partner, oh, come on. Virtually all things in the world will lure them with gifts. How many of you have ever gone fishing? How do you think you catch the fish? You put something on the hook and you throw it, and hula, you catch them. Your partners must not be left out in your plannings. Find a way to come home with surprises. They don't want to listen, right? You keep coming in with surprises. They will be the one to start talking. When you act good, they don't want to lose you. They don't want to leave you alone. I don't want all of us to think there can be a better world. Again, I will say it without fear, without favor, without being ashamed of anyone, without any regret. I know sometimes the journey may be impossible to get along. I do understand. Just before you start beating yourselves, I will recommend, no, please find a way. I have another caller. I will continue my statement after picking this call. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
Hello?
Yes, Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
Yeah. My name is Felicia.
Yes, Madam Felicia, thank you for calling in.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
Yeah.
Can you please lower the volume of your set, please, just a little?
Okay, thank you. I did that just now.
Yes, ma. Go ahead, ma.
What an awesome job you are doing there.
Thank you.
For all these things that you're saying, how I wish our men are listening to this.
Thank
How
you.
I wish they are listening to this, because most of them they are just too busy, busy work. They are workaholics. I don't think they even have time for outing, for vacation. Most of them is not in their plan. It's not in their plan. They are just planning on how to pay mortgage, how to pay bills, how to do this. I wish they are listening.
Do you sometimes wish that your man would take you out or just fly you somewhere?
Yes.
Ratio 1 to 10. How much do you desire that he will take you out? That you will just be alone for some days somewhere far?
10 over 10.
10 over 10. I wish your husband would listen to this, and
how I wish
you would do me the favor. The next time I'm on program, make sure that he's sitting right beside you so that you can listen.
I try if he's at home.
So, just before you go, ma, is there any advice? Someone that is not listening to you, you're trying to talk to her or trying to talk to him. Do you have any advice on how best to get them to listen to us? Quickly, ma, we have another call. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Oh, we lost that call. All right, the call is back. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. We keep losing the call all the way from Kentucky. All right, but we will continue with that. Oh, my last speaker. I am going to be rounding up shortly. Let me quickly address what my last speaker has said. Thank you very much, Felicia, for calling into the program. On Tuesday, when we start again, I promise you, I am going to address this issue of the workaholic man. All right, every man listening to me. As I round up, let me say a little to your heart. Whatever money you're looking for, what if you died in the process? I don't wish you die. I don't want any of us to die. Life is not interesting when we have not shared it with loved ones. Take a break. If you're losing a day of money just to be with loved ones, it is worth it. How much of home videos or movies have you watched alone? How many more have you watched with your family? If you don't have so much money, look, you can create the theater in your home. Just do something. But that was the heart of a woman yearning to be taken out. All of you listening to me, this weekend, I do beg you. Of course, I'm not ordering you. I'm only pleading. Find a way to take your wife somewhere. I'm talking to the men. Look into your wallet. There must be something, however small. Take your woman somewhere. They would want to be taken out. Every woman wants to appreciate it. Once in a while, just eat out. I know you have enough food in the house. That's not very important. Eat out. Go for ice cream dates. I know you're watching your weight, but just once in a year. But if you can afford it, put her in the plane and go to another state, another country. Do nothing but laugh and talk about and make future plans. It works. It works, my friend. This is where we're going to be wrapping it all up tonight. It's been a very wonderful program for me. Don't forget, next week, we have some gifts that we're giving. This glittering process will be won by people that have been calling. I thank all of you that called, particularly the ones that tried to call and couldn't quite connect. Now, every time you watch the TV, you only see the presenter, just like you can only see me. But I'm never alone in the studio. My technical crew, wonderful people. I do have just one last caller. I don't think. Okay, let me see if I can just afford 1 minute. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Quickly, my caller. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
Okay, my good evening, Pastor ESHMAN.
You have just 30 seconds.
Okay, my name is Tawedo. All right, I just want to put this in. I think sometimes most people don't understand that we men were very busy. We have too much on our minds. I understand the fact that yes, there are certain things that are important.
Okay.
You understand? But because of the kind of system that we're in.
Yes.
We men, you see, people don't know that we men, we cry too. You understand?
Yes.
We have
Wow.
You understand?
Okay.
But just because we are men, women expect us to be strong, to be, to be everything.
Yes.
Which is okay, which is good. But sometimes you need to
understand.
Understand, that the man too has a load.
Mr. Edu, I give you a pledge and I give you a promise. On Tuesday, we're going to start exactly from this point. The nature of the work nature of man. I do hope you'll be available on Tuesday, and I do hope that the lady caller too will be available so that we can all just oppose this whole thing together. Thank you for calling, my dear brother. It's just that I really have to go. Thank you so very much. My technical crew, I really do want to appreciate you, headed by Braco Georgina. Very wonderful work Georgina is doing. Thank you very much. I have my PA around today as well. My PA, she's also my main handler, Ehiko Wecho. Thank you very much for always being there. And my executive producer, a man like no other man, Shino Ayo Oyilola. All right, these are wonderful people and we're doing this together. I am just a face, but I'm not the only one. Well, this is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN, and I want you to believe that every day is a good day. This is hoping that when we see again, there will be good news in our mouth. Until then, ESHMAN is my humble name, and I'll see you at the other side of the divide. Have a good night now. Bye.
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
10039 Business Street, Suite 338, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 346-426-5650 or 832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
Well, Life to you may be different from life to me. The way I see life most of the time is different from the way you see life. Sometimes life is good. Other times, well, maybe not so good. And this is why many times we need someone to talk to, someone to listen to us without judging us. And this is a program that is designed exactly for that purpose, where we can talk, chat, laugh, and sometimes cry together. Come on, let's talk over our matters. Let's discuss the matters of life and find solutions together. This is ESHMAN. Our program is now going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I need you to join in. We need to talk together. You will have the opportunity to call in, ask questions, discuss matters that concern your heart.